Hello. It is strange. I just visited some of the art forums where artists are also talking about the progress of their artistic career and how to sell art. And perhaps it is time to reveal something that helped actually me a lot, and perhaps it will help you to stop worrying so much who will buy my art, how do I get the prospect to say yes, and so on, because this kind of worrying is sabotaging not only your artistic career, because you are spending a lot of time in that zone of worrying about your future, but it is also a sabotage of actually the process of selling your art, because when you are going into the process of convincing a client and there are worries on your mind, you are not behaving in a natural way. Most likely you are not very authentic, and this is something that the client is sensing, and then perhaps he's not understanding what is going on, but he knows there's actually something going on, and in this way he acts unsure because you are unsure, you are worried, and in this way you are sabotaging actually the thing you are trying to achieve. It is becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, to worry about how do I get my prospect to say yes, whatever as a value I'm offering to him. This worrying about it is becoming a worry that has a place, because now this worrying is becoming actually the piece that is sabotaging your progress. And one of the things that I have learned, one of the experience that impacted me the most, was when I was helping at one of the booths on I think it was Art Basel. I was back then very young, and a gallerist gave me the chance to stay a little longer on the booth and to watch how this process of selling art is going actually on. And it was such a helpful experience, because from there I learned that there are actually so many myths that the artists are believing, and you just have to bust this myth to get to all these opportunities that are just waiting for you out there in the art market. And what I have learned, to make it really easy, is actually no matter what you are trying to do in the artistic world, no matter what you are offering out there as a value, as an artist and so on, there's an audience out there, but only a small fraction of this audience is really interested in what you have to offer. Most likely there are 40% that are not interested at all. They are just walking and enjoying this the Art Basel, and they are just having a great time, and they are perhaps informing themselves. The other 40%, this is not a precise measurement, every market is different, but I'm just to make it easy, I will stay with this 40 and 40. This other 40% is perhaps thinking about perhaps one day to buy some art, and they are just informing themselves. They are talking to the gallerist if they can, they are talking to the different artists, but they are not so really into it. There's a lot of work to convince them. So the last 20% that is left behind, this 20% are actually there to buy art. And when they have spotted something that they want, they are actually getting into the process of buying of this piece of art. And all the gallerists or the artists have then to do is to just accompany them, to build certain things that have to be reinsured to the buyer. And then it is a process coming not actually from the gallerist or the artist, it is a process starting in the client, and you are just accompanying him. You are making it easy that in the end he's making the decision that he already made as he was first time getting into the contact with the artist or with the art piece that he actually loved. And seeing it from perspective like this, it is making so much easier not to worry about you clients and will he or she say yes, because all you have to care about is this 20%. Of course you can do a lot of preparation, so you are going actually in markets, or you are going in situations where this 20% is present, where you only perhaps have this, you have only this 20%, where people actually already magnetically are drawn to the values you have to offer in your art or in your skills or abilities that you want to exchange for money. And this you can do, but actually when you are thinking about it, if you forget the first 40% of people that are not interested, the next 40% that are perhaps interested, but there are a lot of work to convince them, and they are just focusing on this 20%, and with this 20% you are doing a good job to be magnetic to them, to accompany them. It is really an easy process, because in this situation you are actually getting in front of prospects who are actually asking you to become your clients or to become the buyer of your art, and this is turning the situation around. And once you have made the decision that you are not only concentrating on this 20% who has to be only accompanied to buy your art, to buy your abilities, skills, creativity, then, and you are forgetting the other 80%, then you can concentrate actually on what you are good at, because this kind of clients that understands your art, that understands your value, he's also more willing to get into a conversation with you, into a deal with you, to get as much as possible value out of you. And then you are more of a giver and not someone that is running behind the people and offering something and pleading and whatever you are thinking about artists that is selling out. So by changing your mindset to this 20%, to get in front of the prospect where you are actually the person who is asked to, can I become your client, can I buy your art, is really something that can be of enormous value for the prosperity of your art. All you have to think is who is easy and what is the best part to build a relation with those people. With this 20%, forget convincing the 40%. This you can do later on, perhaps when you are very good at art selling or selling your abilities and skills. These are not so much of interest. Concentrate on this 20% and find out who is this group of people, this 20%, and how do I develop a most easy path where I can accompany them so they are actually convinced of the values I have to offer. And in such a situation, it is also much more, without all this convincing, without all the pleading and without all the worrying, it is much more easier also after you have sold perhaps to them for the first time, offer even more. So you are giving, perhaps you are starting this relationship with this client with a small deal. You are selling a small art piece, or you are doing a small consultation that is giving the client even more trust and is convincing this client even more that you are the right person. And then you are following up without any struggle, because this person already knew before you are the right one, and after this this client is even more convinced that you are the right one, because now he had experienced this. And even if it is very hard to get by to this 20%, and even when you have in the beginning, offer them just a small thing that really will convince them that they have made subconsciously right in the beginning the right decision. They are following you up with more need, and you can follow up even with more service or with even more art. It is a point that you have to find who will really understand the value that you are offering, and just concentrate on this people, because through your work, through your special gifts, through your abilities, you are increasing the value for the other person, for this client. And to have someone that is actually there, that is getting me what I want, what I need, and it's increasing my value, the things that I want to achieve. Let's say this person is having a wonderful home, and through your art the value of this home will be increased. And just imagine, all this person needs is someone with an artist that he's in a relationship, that understands the value, the needs, and is working to increase the values that the client is wanting. And it is also for the 20% you should focus on, it is a process that is much more transparent, that you don't have to act out, you don't have to pretend, you don't have to be someone that you are not. This person, this 20% group, understands already the value and is perhaps already magnetic drawn to you for a good reason. And the more you are staying in your core competence, the more you are authentic actually, the easier you are making it for those people to be open to you and get into a transaction with you, because there is an understanding of confidence. You are very confident because you are in your core competence, you are very authentic, you are offering the values that you know will support the other person. You understand the values that the clients are wanting, and you are giving actually this person what you are good at, and you know that this person is not just buying it and throwing it somewhere in the corner. This client, this kind of client, will actually do something with it. So for him, even when he or she is paying you back, the increase of value is much higher. So he or she is paying you just a small slice of the value he or she as a client is getting out of it. And it is much more a transparent, much more open and natural process then. It is a sales process without being pushy, without sailing off, or without being someone else. Of course, you can narrow yourself down to a special fragment of yourself where you know actually this part of me, what I'm producing, my abilities or skills are important and valuable for others, and you are seeking, how do I communicate this part of me, and you are expanding this part of you, but nevertheless you are staying in your core competence. And in this way you are absolutely reversing all the worries other artists have as a misadvantage of belief, because there are so many other artists that are actually thinking they have to sell to this other 80%, when you have to do a lot of convincing, or even people that don't want your art or your skills, you have to chase them down, and then you have to do a lot of convincing so they are understanding what you are doing. And even if you have to be pretending that you are someone else, it doesn't matter, I have to convince them. Just focus on the 20% where you are most natural with, and the process will grow in an organic way. It will expand with time and with your experience. And you can, after, perhaps look back in your past. There already have been those people who naturally understood what you have to offer, and the conversation with those people was much more natural, to understood of how much value you have to offer, what your skills has as a quality. And there was not actually so much about convincing them. Perhaps there was a talking about the price or whatever it is, but nevertheless there was a natural understanding. And from these experiences you can make actually a projection to your future. Who is this 20% I will put my work into? Because in this situation I am not worried anymore about that I have to convince someone, and in this situation you are much more authentic, much more natural, and you can focus so much better on your core competence, because in the end the client is talking to you because he wants something very special for you, and what you have to offer you have to do with 100%. No part of you should be dedicated to worrying or to being a salesperson or whatever you are thinking you must do to convince clients. So sit down perhaps today and think about your past, where have you already met this 20%, and where you could find more of those people. And then it is just about going out there and looking for a match. it is not a process anymore of seeking someone. It is a process of trying out. I mean, not everything is for everybody, and when you are not a match from a person that you have been thinking it is a match, it doesn't matter, because you're knowing you are not the right person for, you are not the right artist, you are not the right creative for this person, and the person that is possible client has the right to go out there and find someone else that is providing actually the values he or she wants. You don't want to be a fishmonger actually that is selling cars. You have something absolutely different to offer, and this is why this person is not interested in you. This person wants to buy a car and you have to offer fish. So how to convince someone that wants a car to buy a fish? And the art we are producing today, the creative field, what you can sell as your creativity, as your abilities, is so broad that you can actually say creativity is not a creativity, a painting is not a painting. It is the difference between a fish and a car. So this person who wants a car should get a car, but you should seek people who want actually to buy what you have to offer, because from this a long-term relation should arise, a build over years, because this person will be not only interested once in your values. You don't have to convince him, screw him over just that you sold something. No, this person, when this person is really happy with what you are producing, what you have to offer, this client will come again and again. A client is something of a relationship that can last over years, decades, and it is worth to put the work in to find those clients. These are just my thoughts and my experiences, and perhaps there are other people that think in a different way, but I think to take away the worrying from artists is a big step to provide them with a far better quality of life. And this switching of your mindset, this busting of the myth that you should sell everything to everyone, is helping many artists and many students a lot. So these are my thoughts. Nevertheless, it's up to you, sitting down, thinking about yourself, about your past, and a possible future of clients that will definitely say yes to your art or your skills or abilities. I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, see you soon. Bye bye.